Cyber Uncut. Discover the changing face of business, government and national security as Australia navigates the cyber revolution.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to the Cyber Uncut podcast. My name's David Hollingworth. I'm the Deputy Editor of Cyber Daily, and I'm joined by my partner in cybercrime investigation,
Daniel Croft.
I thought about that one yesterday. I was like, I want to call him my partner in cybercrime. No, wait, that's not true
that's
at all.
not what we
that's
do.
really, really bad. We don't do the crimes. We just report on the crimes.
Yes.
But before we get to the crimes, let's kick off with AI.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Trump. Baby.
Yeah. So I've got a feeling a few people may have seen this clip.
Yeah.
But so pretty much Trump posted on his very own social media site. So he
Truth
can't
Social,
really,
yes.
Yep, Truth Social. A video that he's obviously gotten off TikTok that someone else has created that depicts Obama being arrested by FBI agents in the Oval Office while he giggles and
While Trump giggles.
Yeah, while
Yes.
Trump giggles.
Yeah.
And YMCA plays in the background.
Oh, you...
Because
I
it's
was
his
wondering, how
unofficial
can this
anthem.
get worse? And that's how it gets worse.
Yeah, it's his unofficial anthem. So it pretty much starts off with a bunch of like politicians, including like Joe Biden and Obama himself, saying the words, "No one is above the law."
Yeah.
I'll get to the irony later on. And then shifts to a image of Pepe the Frog dressed as a clown.
Of course it does.
You know Pepe the Frog, the internet kind of
Yep.
meme icon.
Yeah.
And then the clip of FBI agents running in. It's actually pretty poor AI generation as well. It's not something that's as sophisticated as what we've seen in the past, but these FBI agents come in. My note, one of them seems to tickle Trump as he walks past, and then they
I'm sorry, say that again.
yeah, it looks like it if you watch it. And
I
then
don't want to watch it now.
and then they tackle Obama to the ground while YMCA plays and Trump giggles to his heart's content. And then it cuts to Obama in a jail cell in an orange jumpsuit.
This is very, very presidential. The
So
august
professional.
office of the President of the United States posting AI slop.
So Trump didn't provide any context whatsoever
course
for
not,
this.
no.
It has a TikTok kind of like stamp in it. So someone has made this,
Yeah.
put it on TikTok.
And nowhere does it say it's AI, right?
No, it does not. But he likes to do this. He does kind of treat it as his own kind of personal way of just like spewing crap.
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
have to be professional because it's on his social media, which
Yeah.
is a new precedent, really. Precedent for the president.
Yeah.
However, it does come closely after Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard called for Obama and several former national security staff to be arrested.
Yes.
Now, she says that there's new evidence that Obama fed lies about the 2016 election to media, and those lies were that Russia were involved in helping Trump win.
Yeah.
And so they essentially said they fed fake information.
Yeah. Yeah. And even that's incorrect, right? Because
Yeah. There's I forget which national security advisor was on the report that found that there was
basically there was interference. Definitely
yeah.
interference, but not specifically what they're saying Obama did or
Yeah,
said.
yeah. So she did this big long.
And I mean, the idea that Russia interferes with national elections shouldn't be a controversial one. They do.
Yeah,
They had Yevgeny Prigozhin's meme center was all about that kind of interference in the social fabric, not just of the US, but countries all around the world.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
So Tulsi Gabbard went on like a rant, pretty much. This pretty professionally written rant on X.
Probably got AI to write it.
Probably. Yeah. They're pretty much just saying that this was kind of the groundwork for what she called a years-long coup against President Donald Trump, subverting the will of the American people and undermining our democratic republic.
It's funny what these people accuse others of is usually most of the time exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, well, Trump already got annoyed at who was the old Sicer.
Oh yeah, the old Sicer head. The guy who had to leave Sentinel-1.
For
Chris Krebs.
for literally saying that Trump was wrong when he said, the 2020 election that was a hack, that was tampered
and
with.
He was like, no, this is our most secure election ever.
Yeah.
I know who I trust.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So the idea that he's gotten a bit annoyed by all of this both
And of
times.
course, all of this is a distraction. I mean, let's be honest. All of this, putting sugar back into Coke, getting
culture war,
getting
distraction
Steve
stuff.
Colbert cancelled, which is hilarious, by the way, because the man now has 10 months to say whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because what are they going to do?
Who
Cancel
else
the show?
did he say was a national security threat? Was it
Oh,
Martha Stewart or something?
No. Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
He wants deported. So
Yeah, because she's a threat to national security.
He wants all the late night hosts gone.
Trump. The best thing you can do is stop writing brilliant content for
and of
them.
course, as I said, a distraction from Epstein and the fact that Trump's name is likely all through that. It always amazes me how far-ranging our cyber discussions and AI discussions go, because AI and cyber touches everything.
It does,
especially politics.
It has
these days.
no bounds in terms of geography or industry.
No, not at all. Not at all. And speaking of Trump and AI, Trump, I think overnight, has said, or was it yesterday? Time is strange. By the time you're listening to this, it's going to be 2 days after we recorded it anyway, so wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. He has said to an AI conference that AI engineers and developers shouldn't have to worry about copyright. Like, copyright doesn't matter. They should be able to train their AI on songs, on film, on books, and copyrights, you shouldn't have to buy a thing to use it. It's like, actually, that is the basis of most US law is based around copyright law.
Yeah.
I can only imagine Disney, one of the greatest abusers of copyright law there is. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. and that's the thing. This isn't a new message. This is a pretty open message that we've heard time and time again from the giant tech oligarchs and the AI leaders and stuff like that. The UK, as we spoke about previously, passed legislation now where it's not specifically outlined, but they've created this kind of gap where if you are an artist or a creator of copyrighted material, an AI giant does not need to ask your permission to use it, pay you, get your consent. They don't need to do any of that. It's an opt-out system instead. Yeah. So, and then in the US we saw something similar. So it doesn't surprise me at all that, he gets his tech oligarch mates and they go, come on, Donnie. Come on, this is better. AI is the future, and he goes, "Oh, okay,
we'll give you more millions for next election."
Yeah, and so
which you're not legally allowed to run in.
Yeah, well,
except you'll probably end up in power anyway because you're the one enacting a coup against the U.S. Constitution. I'm not going forward. Okay, I'm drawing a line under Trump there. It's too early in the morning. Normally we record this of an afternoon, but for reasons we're doing this of a morning. Still drinking beer, however.
Yeah.
See. Okay, what is the EU doing with AI at the moment? Because they've just enacted an AI Act, correct?
So, they're launching an AI Act, and it's going to kind of outline, appropriate use and things like that. It's going to be...
AI. Yep.
Yeah, and one of the things that is coming with it is a voluntary code of practice, which will kind of, lay out set requirements for any signatories.
Yeah.
And they're encouraging big tech to kind of sign it, and it will pretty much say... Can't use pirated content.
Yep.
You need to provide and update documentation regarding your AI tools, and you need to respect and abide by the requests of content owners to not use their data for training if they don't want it.
I love the EU.
The GDPR, they nailed, and they're doing it again on the AI front. And
I know
love it.
a couple of our colleagues are probably wondering why they're getting angry, but I'm a globalist. I believe that we're all one big planet.
Yeah, sure.
Do away with borders. And I love the fact that the EU is. I should just move there.
Yeah,
I need to move to a liberal Northern European democracy. Enjoy my legal weed. Mild summers, lovely winters, and moral backbone. It's.
Well, if you want a bit more motivation on moving there,
cool.
So the Chief Global Affairs Officer of Meta, Joel Kaplan, has said that this code of practice is overreach, and that it would harm the development and progression of AI technology. Which, going back to what Trump said,
I know, right?
It's the same thing.
If you need to basically steal content and ride roughshod over the copyright of authors and creators and artists. Take a look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You're the baddies.
Yeah, all these claims that, Altman apparently has this vision of AI being democratized and for the people and everything like that, but he says one thing and his actions do another.
Democracy.
And same with Meta.
Yeah,
This technology is being advertised to us as a thing of this is going to be the future. No, it's good for you guys, not for us. So he said, Europe is heading down the wrong path on AI. We've carefully reviewed the GPAI, that's the AI Act and the Code of Practice, and Meta won't be signing it. This code introduces a number of legal uncertainties for model developers as well as measures which go far beyond the scope of the AI Act. He said the legislation will throttle the development and the deployment, of frontier AI models in Europe and stunt European companies looking to build businesses on top of them. Meta aren't alone in this.
No.
Apparently over 40 of Europe's largest businesses are against this. However, EU's gone, doesn't matter. It's starting at the same date. We don't care. Because I'm guessing, while it is a voluntary thing, if you don't sign it, then there's going to be restrictions on what you can do with your technology. Maybe you can't have local infrastructure. Maybe you can't do this.
It's the GDPR all over again. And frankly, the GDPR, I believe, is good law.
I do too.
Yeah. Do please at me about that. I'm happy to receive your angry emails. I think EU's in the right. We can't let AI run roughshod over fundamental human characteristics like art. I'm going to get very, very specific. I hate the idea that some AI bro wants to feed all of Tolkien's works, all of that legendarium into an AI and go, we're going to write the next Lord of the Rings. It's like, no, do not. No. And some things are sacred. And that's...
And people talk about, these big guys talk about, wanting AI to be for the people, not replacing human work or, just changing it. Changing the future of work. And yet we're already
seeing AI artists emerge on Spotify. We're seeing artists that died in the 80s. Suddenly there are new, very inaccurate songs that are purported to be from them. And it's just like, no, this isn't the future I want. I want a Star Trek future, not this weird dystopian cyberpunk one.
And that's why the regulation just needs to be so far ahead, but it's not. And part of the reason is that these guys are pushing for it to be delayed. We don't need regulation. It's just going to stunt our growth. Good. It should stunt the growth because the regulation needs to get way further. It annoys the crap out of me that they think we're all stupid.
We need to rename this podcast to the Progressive Lefty Angry Cast.
A little bit.
Anyway, we're going to leave AI for a bit. We're going to come back with crimes. We'll be back after this break. All right, welcome back to Cyber Uncut. I'm joined by my senior journalist? No, let's call you senior journalist.
Oh, cool.
I'm getting a promotion. Dan Croft, I'm his deputy editor. You know what? I'm editor now. I'm the captain now. And welcome back to Cyber Uncut and crimes. There have been... Well, lots of crimes. Some old crimes, some new crimes. Let's kick off with an older crime, because this one's really interesting. So, Genea, fertility clinic, got hit by termite ransomware earlier in the year. Lots of sensitive data uploaded to the darknet. As you can imagine. Now, if you're a regular listener to this podcast or reader of the website, you know this. It's back in the news because Genea is still going through the long and painstaking task of working out what data has been compromised. And because of that, Genea patients are still receiving, as of even this week, email notices of what exactly of their data has been compromised. And it's causing quite a bit of concern. And now you've written about this. And I read an article on the ABC yesterday about it. And I was like,
they covered it first.
I'm not happy with some of their reporting.
I can agree with that, actually.
But so what's the news on what Genea is telling their
the main kind of change here is that this is an attack that happened 5 months ago. They had a court injunction preventing kind of details on what data exactly was in it, which Termite had published.
I had to rewrite an article while I was sitting enjoying a lovely beef and black bean at the Bob Hawke Beer and Leisure Centre.
Great pub.
Great
pub.
I got a phone call from a very tense PR going, it's an injunction, you need to rewrite the article. And I'm like, I'm enjoying a succulent Chinese meal. And so while I was enjoying that succulent Chinese meal, I rewrote the article.
So look, they had this court injunction. They had kind of, it might be this, but that's all we kind of got. Now they've kind of given a definitive answer as to what data has been kind of was stolen in this, and
Yeah.
it contains full names, phone numbers, birth dates, addresses, Medicare card numbers, medical diagnosis, and clinical information related to the services that you receive from Genea or other health service providers and or medical treatment.
Yeah.
Pretty sensitive.
It's pretty sensitive stuff. Now, it's interesting because normally, by nature, I'm kind of against injunctions. But again, this is my 90s hacker ethics of, information wants to be free. But they've used the injunction, I think, quite well. So this is data.
Yeah.
That information is no surprise to you and I.
No.
We saw the data on the dark web as it was published, and we're prevented from writing about it. Now, Genea's gone, okay, we've taken the time. Now we want to make sure the first people to know what that data is the patients.
Yeah.
I actually respect that move.
So do I. The nature of this data is incredibly sensitive.
Yeah.
IVF is an incredibly expensive process. It's
100%.
incredibly personal.
Yeah.
For some people, it may feel like, for lack of a better term, embarrassing, or because it's not the process a lot of people go through.
Yeah.
You get the point.
It's intensely personal.
It is. It's incredibly personal.
Yeah.
And so, I completely understand that. I I know this is the point that you don't like about what, because the ABC's kind of gone for the throat a little bit.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree. A lot of these customers, of Genea, former and current, that they spoke to, are not happy about the response because it was so long. And the main thing that I kind of agree with what the ABC said on that is that this is an expensive process with very small specific time windows.
Yeah.
People spend tens of thousands of dollars per IVF cycle,
Yep.
and one missed date means it's all thrown out.
Yeah.
And this cyber attack led to that.
Yep.
And now people are left waiting on the certainty of their future for a 5-month period. Now, I think you're right, because I know what you're going to say on terms of ABC response. I'll let you say it, actually. I'll let you go with that.
What do you think I'm going to say, Dan?
That their response was brutal and
It was a bit
unnecessary.
brutal. Like, this is something we say a lot, and it bears repeating. Mediating this kind of incident is a long and hard process. Going through the data that gets put online is hard. It's difficult. And I've seen this from incident responders before, where we've found compromising data in a data leak, which they haven't seen because they're not sure of what to look at. If there's anything I want to throw back at Genea, it's that they should have done a data audit and they should have known what data was where, and they should have a backup of at least that, so they know what's been compromised. But all of Australia, every Australian company, organisation, government agency is currently on a steep learning curve to deal with exactly this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Genea, I believe, like many companies and organisations that have to deal with this, is doing its best. It's a long, painstaking process. Someone actually contacted me and saying, "Oh, hey, I've just received this email. I thought you should know," last week. And I'm like, okay, it's interesting. Do I want to write an article about this? And I thought, in some cases I would. This is so private, so intensely personal that it just felt like opening old wounds. So I actively avoided writing about it.
That's fair.
Because you and I, we wrote about this back when it happened. We wrote about it going on the dark web. We wrote about the actual threat actor that did this. And the ABC article was, we still have no idea where it was published or who did it. I'm like, you do. We found that out. It's one of my issues with mainstream cyber reporting. We're lucky. We get to focus on this, right?
Yeah.
Everything we write is cyber. We're on the dark web day in, day out. A lot of mainstream reporters probably aren't doing what we do, and they may not know, but it's the way that article came across made it sound like it's still a mystery. It's not. We know who did it.
No.
We know where it is.
Yeah.
And again, that's where the injunction makes that kind of reporting difficult. It makes me angry, that kind of reporting, but I also don't know what the solution is. I'm happy to admit.
I kind of agree with you, because it's hard, because on one hand, I get their take, because and this is a point on both sides, this data is incredibly sensitive.
Yeah.
Meaning notification should be done quickly so that people can actually take steps to kind of mitigate the damage to them personally, because the data is so sensitive. As Rapid7 principal threat analyst Matthew Green told us, it has no shelf life. Financial data does. Medical data stays relevant because there's medical histories are relevant. It's incredibly sensitive. People are going to be more inclined to want to pay a ransom or work with a threat actor to get it deleted because it is that sensitive.
Yeah.
By the same token, though, I get Genea's kind of tiptoeing in the response process for the exact same reason.
You want to get this right first time.
Exactly, yeah. Getting it wrong is not an option. So with this, I don't want to attack Genea because, again, a lot of companies that go through these cyber attacks, it's a first kind of time they've ever dealt with this kind of response. I don't remember from I don't recall if this is Genea's first or not.
It is.
It is.
I'm pretty certain it is.
But and even then, like, it's not something you're like, even if you train, it's still a.
Well, that is an excellent segue into even if you train, because I want to talk about Qantas.
Yes.
Qantas has always paid a lot of attention to cybersecurity, right? Holds a lot of customer data. It has a lot of, it's an airline. It needs to keep its systems secure.
Yeah.
And yet even they got hacked. We've talked about the how, the why, the when. But what I want to talk about specifically, it's a very difficult word, specifically, is court documents have recently, I love saying that, it makes me feel like a real journalist. So we managed to get hold of court documents that Optus submitted to the Supreme Court of New South Wales. To
Qantas.
Optus? Why did I say Optus? Can we just delete that? That's gone. Yeah, cool. Optus, Qantas, it sounds like. We managed to get the documents that Qantas submitted to the Supreme Court. Beep. We managed to get documents that Qantas submitted to the Supreme Court of New South Wales in order to get its injunction. And part of those documents were heavily redacted versions of their communications with the hackers.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating reading. What you can read, it's a lot of lines, blacked out lines.
Yeah.
But so the hackers did identify who they are to Qantas. That's redacted. But they did refer to themselves as "We Are the Collective."
I wonder.
Hacking collective, you say?
And it's the same hacking collective. Well, what we're thinking is the same hacking collective that people all think.
Yeah, it's Scattered Spider. Scattered Spider. What's interesting is the redacted name, because I had a look at this, they definitely do not call themselves Scattered Spider.
Based on the length.
It's just too short. Whatever they call themselves is not Scattered Spider. If this is, in fact, Scattered Spider. But anyway, it's very polite. Hi, we're the collective behind this hack. We believe it's going to be pretty big. It's at least up there with Optus and Medibank and Latitude. They actually named all three in their emails. You should reach out and chat to us. We have all this data and much more.
Yeah.
The data they listed was the data that Optus has admitted was compromised. Name,
Qantas.
frequent flyer. God, why do I keep saying Optus?
There was a lot of Optus. Optus.
And Qantas sounds so similar.
Yeah.
I'm going to start that one again. My apologies. Where did I start with
we
that
were
one?
talking about the name being too short. You can probably go from there.
Yeah, the name's too short. But they go on to mention other big hacks. And they say, here's the data that we definitely have, names, frequent flyers, all that, which Qantas has also said, I've gotten that email, the hackers got all of my frequent flyer data, and they added, and much more.
Yeah.
Now, that could just be a empty threat. Possibly they do have more data, and and Qantas is still trying to work that out. But they contacted Qantas 3 times. And all of the header information is redacted as well. So it's unknown if it's 3 separate members of the collective sending to 3 different Qantas executives, or whether they just hammered these all in one go. Qantas stayed quiet for about 3 days. And all the while, this is while Qantas is actively engaging with its customers. Qantas has gone out of its way to be as upfront as it can. So, bravo. But all the while Qantas was fronting to the media, fronting to the press, talking to its customers, they were getting these emails from the threat actor. 3 days later, they got another email. This is our second attempt to make contact. You really should get back to us. And each time they were given a 72-hour deadline to get back. Reams of sample data was included in these emails as well, like 9 pages of I would say, almost swear jar moment.
That might still get censored.
9 pages of redacted data, obviously, but what it looks like is the kind of data we see as published as proof all the time on hacking forums. It's just lines of data. It'd be names, emails, frequent flyer stuff, all redacted. Eventually, Qantas did respond to them. And you know what I find really cute about this? Qantas reached out and the subject line was reaching out. the kind of subject line.
Okay?
If you were contacting an old friend, hey, just reaching out.
Yeah.
Just reaching out. Just reaching out to talk to the people who stole 5.7 million customers' data. There were several back and forths. The contents of which is all redacted.
Yeah.
But clearly there was an ongoing conversation between the the collective, and Qantas. Each of these emails is maybe 3 or 4 lines, tops.
Yeah.
So probably just establishing bona fides. Okay, are you really the hackers? Yeah. Are you qualified to talk to us on behalf of Qantas? Yes. But something happened at the end of this communication because the last 3 emails are all from the collective and they're all unanswered.
Yeah.
We can only guess. But I would say at some point Qantas is going, no, we're not doing what you want, which presumably would be paying some kind of ransom or blackmail money.
They'd have an internal team that's advised them on where to go next, and they probably just said, cut communication.
Exactly, yeah. They've done what they can. All during this as well, Qantas was serving them with the injunction, which I think is just fantastic. The hackers are almost certainly not going to pay attention to a piece of paper which it's put out by an Australian court, considering that they're not in Australia and probably can't out of reach.
Yeah.
But bravo to Qantas for at least just going through with all of this. Just dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's.
You've got the injunction. You might as well hand it to them.
You may as well hand it to them, which I kind of oddly respect. But yeah, this one's interesting because again, this data hasn't shown up anywhere, and that's something that the hackers said to Qantas in the first thing. We have not published any of this yet.
If this is scattered spider,
they never publish.
They don't seem to publish,
seen,
really.
I've not seen any of the Marks and Spencer data. I've not seen any of that.
No.
I don't get how they operate.
Yeah.
They've got a very weird business model. And it is a business model.
I'd be really interested to see what kind of, similar court documents between the other 2 airlines, WestJet and Hawaiian Air.
Yeah.
I believe it was WestJet.
I think it was, yeah.
The Canadian airline.
Apologies if we're wrong, yes.
Yeah, because they also suffered cyber attacks just prior to Qantas.
Yeah.
Scattered spider.
But again,
seems to work in 3s.
Yeah, it does actually. But again, we've not seen that data show up anywhere either.
No. So yeah, it does sound like.
No, that said, we've not seen it show up anywhere. There are entire ecosystems that Dan and I do not have visibility into.
Ones we don't even know about.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
And there are ones that every time we try and sign up to, because we sign up to. We're members of a couple of hacking forums, not for the crimes, but for the observability.
Exactly.
But there are forums, especially Russian language forums. 1, it's Russian language. We're not Russian speakers. But 2, they won't even let our IPs in.
No.
It's like, nope, you can't join up. I don't know if it's just they're geolocated or maybe they know, we know your IP address. You're a fucking journalist. Swear jar. We're not letting you in. So it could be somewhere.
Touching on the fact that we may be known to them, I don't know if we covered this last time, but our name and a link to our site appeared on, I forget which threat actors.
Oh, a ransomware operator. Yeah. So all these guys have media pages. I love it. They love the sound of their own voice and names.
Yep.
And we were kind of chuffed to find ourselves listed as mentioned by Cyber Daily.
We're being taken
that's
seriously.
Cool. And then it's like, oh, no, we're being taken seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they know our names. Oh, God.
The guys in the hoodies have seen our faces.
Yes, they have.
If you're listening, g'day.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, reach out. We'd love to interview you sometime.
Yeah.
We're on the mailing list of the admin of breach forums.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Who has said he is willing to be interviewed, actually. So I'm trying to work out the morals and ethics of actually interviewing a cyber criminal.
Yeah.
So watch the space on that one. Qantas comms, fascinating. I did a big feature on the website about it, so if you want more detail on it, do check that out. Deep breath, more crimes!
Yeah.
And this one's widespread. Microsoft is having a very bad, no good week, month, year, time.
SharePoint.
Yeah, SharePoint server. So SharePoint is basically a web-hosted file sharing. You put data up on SharePoint to share it within your organization and around your team.
Yep.
So it's really bad if threat actors get access to that. Guess what? Threat actors are getting access to that via a chain of vulnerabilities that's basically letting them walk in.
Yeah, there's two known vulnerabilities being
two known
exploited.
vulnerabilities based on two previous vulnerabilities, which Microsoft apparently attempted to patch back in May. And it's not worked.
They failed to
Very not worked. And now, like a couple of days ago, hundreds of organizations compromised.
Yeah.
Yesterday, thousands.
Before the vulnerability was well known, it was about 100.
Yeah.
And now, who can say how much?
Yep.
This is a really, really interesting one. I actually wrote a piece today. A U.S. nuclear weapons agency, the National Nuclear Security Administration, I believe it's called.
Oh, that's fine. Nothing bad can come from that.
They're just the guys who are responsible for managing the stockpile of U.S. weapons.
It's okay. Half of them were probably fired by Doge last month anyway.
Probably.
Yeah.
That might be why it happened.
Yeah.
If there's a nuclear disaster in the US or anywhere in the world, they're the guys to take care of it. So, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's fine.
They were one of the victims.
Yeah.
And
God.
impact is limited, but it just shows the kind of
the scope of this and how fast it's spreading. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got security analysts are just amazed, bemused, shocked, appalled at this one.
Yeah. It was about this time last year that CrowdStrike happened too. Maybe it's going to be an annual thing that we get some big...
Oh, it's that time of year, right?
It is. I was in Scotland when it happened.
Our seasonal cyber disaster.
Yeah. I was in Scotland this time last year when CrowdStrike happened.
Yeah.
Because I was like, am I going to be able to get home? We were talking about it, me and my partner, last night. And now I'm just thought, hey...
Well, yeah.
Timing's
it's
quite...
happening again.
Timing's quite interesting.
And of course, SharePoint is a big international thing. Qantas, huge company. Genea, historical, very private. But in the background of all of this, just in the last week, 3 other small Australian businesses have also fallen victim to ransomware. And it's easy to forget when we've got all these big names popping up in the news. But yeah, small Australian businesses, a Queensland vet, an accountant in Maroubra, and we'll get to this later, and United Australia Party, all hacked.
Ooh,
Not a small to medium business, but we'll get back to that one because that one's interesting.
You can already tell we are very interested in talking about this.
But it's worth remembering that for every Qantas hack, there are at least 12, 2 dozen, maybe even more hacks of small,
hundreds
medium,
even.
straight. Yeah, exactly. And it's not regular. We might go a week or two without, but then we'll get 3 or 4 in one go. Businesses in Australia, in New Zealand, around the Pacific, government departments in the Pacific. God, Tonga, the Ministry of Health got taken offline by a ransomware attack. It's pervasive. And if I want to leave one point for the end of this segment before we go into a break is, if you hold data, you're a target.
Yeah.
If you just need to be aware of this. As we always say, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And if Qantas can get hacked by a simple social engineering hack, then everyone's got a target on their back.
Funnily enough, if you've heard the term data is money and thought about that means Meta, or big companies using that because it's good for them.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's also very good for you criminals, and it applies exactly the same.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
Funnily enough, we think it's important to keep that secure.
And on that note, we're going to go to a break, and we'll be back very shortly. Welcome back to Cyber Uncut. I'm going to do this entire section without making one mistake or swearing, I promise.
Excellent.
My name's David Hollingworth. I am Deputy Editor of Cyber Uncut. I'm joined by Daniel Croft, my indefatigable look, I screwed it already, colleague. Okay, so we're going to get to the UAP thing, but I wanted to mention one thing. We were just talking about social engineering.
Yeah.
One of our colleagues, Rob, who guested on the podcast recently, talking about Israeli Air Force stuff, Russian Air Force stuff,
AI and
military stuff.
Yeah.
He showed me a fantastic video of social engineering in action, and it was a US journo talking to a penetration tester about how social engineering works. To illustrate how social engineering works, she, in front of him on camera, got into one of his, I don't know, energy account or one of his accounts.
Yep.
Did it live, got full access.
Yep.
You know how she did it? She queued up on her laptop a very loud YouTube video of a screaming baby. Calls up. Hi, I need to do a favor for my husband. I need to, and pulls out this massive sob story, and it's believable.
Yeah.
And all the while, the baby's crying in the background. All these little bits of pressure on, and the person like, oh, okay, oh, you're not on the account. Oh, he said he's going to add me. Okay, look, my details are this. Gives very relevant details. A relevant email that she no doubt created for this. And within 2 minutes, this journo, his head is in his hands as he watches how relatively easy it is for this pen tester to get into one of his private accounts. And I was in awe of the sheer artistry of it.
Yeah.
This isn't technical. It's not digital. It's not about coding. It's not lines of code dashing down a screen. It's a crying baby and a woman who sounds stressed. And that gets her in.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of capacity that these threat actors also have. They're con artists. Digital con artists.
Yeah.
And so that's, and that is just one of the threat vectors that people need to be aware of. I just wanted to share that when we were talking about social.
I think that's
social
really, really
engineering.
relevant, actually, because there's definitely been times where, I've gotten a scam call or whatever. And obviously doing this day to day, you're kind of exposed to it a lot. But I've gotten a scam call, and if it's really, really emotional or something like that, there is still a little bit of me that goes, hang on, am I being like a really bad person by not just complying?
Yeah.
And I feel like, and obviously I do not, because that's, if you're unsure, don't do it. But I feel like that's a really easy trap to fall into.
Oh, yeah. Like, I get a pang of anxiety whenever I get an ATO scam coming to via SMS.
Me too.
And I go, no, we know that the ATO doesn't do this. But I still get that anxiety boost.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what these people play on, is that increased anxiety. And I just love the fact that the crying baby is in it. That's just...
Even
kiss.
the Australia Post package ones, that's a super well-known scam.
Yeah.
Right? And I get them all the time. Knowing I haven't ordered anything, I've gone, wait a minute.
But it's even worse if you have ordered anything. Like, I'm ordering a lot online at the moment. Most Australians are in the wake of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And so the likelihood of someone having a package in transit, and waiting for it, and you get this... Oh, but my package.
Oh
no!
Wow, that was quite
my
expensive.
package. Oh dear! I better. No, wait. That's not how Australia Post operates.
Yeah,
nor
exactly.
How
yeah.
it's spelled. But anyway, so I just wanted to mention that. Now, Clive Palmer,
Everybody's favorite Titanic 2 builder, because he's the only one.
Is he still doing that?
Apparently, he's bringing it back.
Oh, it's
He
over,
thought
mate.
that-
It's over. It's done.
The unsinkable boat that sunk. Let's do that again.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
so thinking about things that are unsinkable, the UAP and its successor, Trumpet of Patriots. God, every time I say that, it sounds dumber and dumber. They got hacked. They got done by what looks to be a ransomware operator, and they actually, bless them, were upfront about it. They contacted their members. They've got a notification on their website explaining what they've done, how they've done it, all the usual stuff.
Yep.
The thing which gets me is that they've said, and it's probably names and addresses, and you should go through your emails to see what correspondence you've sent us, because that's probably compromised.
Oh, do not place the responsibility of this on your customers
Gets
or your
better.
followers.
They've also said, look, it's too hard to go through this. We're not going to contact you individually about it. So
this makes me
don't
really
worry.
angry.
Oh, and we've told the Office of the Australian Information Commissioner. Now, in Australia, political parties are exempt from the Privacy Act, which means they don't have to contact you. They don't need to do this. They're exempt from all of that. And this hack has raised that as a problem. Anybody who holds personal data should be held by the Privacy Act, right? However, despite the fact that UAP has said, we were hacked, we've told the OIAC, the OAIC has said, You what? So this is reporting from Crikey, not ours at all.
Yep.
Bless you, Cam Wilson. Good work for actually reaching out and believing, hey, I don't trust Clive Palmer's party. Apparently, the commissioner has not heard anything from the party about this. They've not been contacted at all.
Huh.
Yeah. So someone here is telling a porky, and as often I say, I think I know who I'm believing in this
me
case.
too.
And yeah, I am slightly biased against the billionaire mining magnate who tries to pollute Australian politics. But it gets spicier. You know how political parties are exempt from the Privacy Act? Mm-hmm. UAP was deregistered in 2022.
Ah, so they're not exempt.
No.
But then they still haven't done it.
Yeah.
And they've kind of put a magnifying glass on themselves.
They sure have. Yeah. No, and look, it's easy to laugh. But remember, this is 80,000. There are 80,000 members of that party on the books. So their data has been compromised. The party they actually paid to be a member of, their party that they believe in, has absolutely hung them out to dry. I feel bad for them.
Yeah, so do I.
And look, I would normally not feel bad for UAP voters. I'd go, people who voted for leopards eating face party now surprised leopards are eating their face. But yeah, it's just shocking neglect. It really, really is.
And that's the thing. Like, the great thing about this country is that you can follow any political belief you want. So I'm not going to slam someone for that. This is just as bad as if this was a minor, left party of some kind.
It could happen to the Greens.
Yeah, it absolutely could. And
it could happen to any party.
And when you first started telling us, I was thinking, hey, the management's not so bad. They've been really open about it. And it's just...
I know. Watching your face has been hilarious. Like, that's good. That's not good. That's less good.
That roller coaster dipped quick.
What?
That's wild. Palmer's not, look, he's, scams are not something he's usually avoided.
So I reached out to UAP, Trumpet of Patriots. I even reached out to Senator Abbott. Him.
Ralph Babbitt.
Abbott. Oh, I know who I'm getting confused with. Another reactionary. So he is their parliamentary contact. It's like, oh, he's a contact. He's listed on the website as parliamentary contact. I reached out to him as well. He actually got back to me going, mate, you should talk to the party about that. I'm just a senator. No, you're a senator for the party.
For the party,
You're actually, okay.
You're a representative.
Yeah, you're listed as the, I didn't hear back from anyone apart from Ralph. Cam, who was also following this, he did hear back. And the media guy apparently said it's the first I've heard about it. So everything's great with the UAP and trumpets. Like, they're just operating tickety-boo.
Yeah,
everything's fine.
Evidently.
Yeah. Nothing to see here.
Wow.
Right.
That, when you mentioned that there was a UAP hack, I was like, okay. It was much more shocking than I...
I'm really glad I was able to take you and our listeners on that journey.
Yeah, because... wow. Because I, for context, I've been sick, so I haven't read this.
Yeah. It's a gift. You're welcome.
Wow. Yeah.
So I mean, like, I'm going to keep following this. No doubt, Crikey's going to keep following this. So bravo
Absolutely.
in their reporting. But it's wild. We don't have any up news this week, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
No. I mean, it's an amusing end of the podcast, but I don't think it's a positive end of the podcast.
Full of giggles, but it's still a hack. And
it's still a hack.
There are still victims.
It's still individuals' data, and it's a political party pretty much saying, we don't got to do anything. We're not looking into it. You're on your own. That's the bit that gets me. Go through your correspondence with us to find out what's been compromised.
It's like, don't you kind of...
That's just such a stab in the back.
If you're a political party, right, and this may sound really obvious, or maybe I'm an idiot, but isn't the point to kind of gain followers and keep the ones you've got rather than throw them under the bus?
You're meant to look after the members of your party.
Yeah, because
people
they're
who
the
vote
ones
for you.
Who have the power to
You're meant to
give
represent
you power.
them. Yeah, not just leave them out to dry.
Well, you know
So
what?
anyway,
I'm no politician,
look,
so I don't know.
I would, for any, CISOs and board members and senior execs listening, that's how not to respond to a data breach. Follow Qantas's playbook. It's a far, far better one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we are going to love you and sadly leave you on that note, I think. Thank you for listening to us. Track us down on... No, don't track us down. That sounds really negative. Hackers, do not track us down. But you can find us on www.cyberdaily.au. You can find us on social media. You can sign up for our newsletter and get Daniel and I in your inbox every morning. A lovely surprise, I'm sure. And we'll be back next week or soon enough. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.